Good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I saw the attendance list. I think we have a big spread of time zone. So thank you so much for everyone to join us. I know some of you are working probably. Some of you already on night time. All right. Okay. I'm doing this primarily because I like to share my knowledge because I can see during my journey in this commodity world, there are lots of pains. And today we are going to talk about one of the major pain that I encounter, perhaps you too. And it's about getting your sugar daddy. No, this is the most important thing to me. It determines 60% of the success of our sugar business. Okay. Next, I will I will share about my background so that you understand who I am. Next slide, please. Okay, I come from the corporate world. When I left the corporate world, I was in the C-level, Chief Operating Officer, CEO, in the corporate side. I was the one of the members to the management buyout team. For those who know, it's an MBO where we buy the share from the company and become the shareholders. In the meantime, we're still the employee of the company. Wipro from India, probably now $13 billion US business. They bought us back then, 2005, I think, long time ago. Then I sold my share and I become an entrepreneur. I have 30 years of boardroom and hands-on FMCG market experience. FMCG stands for fast-moving consumer goods, over 25 countries. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is practical and a real-world situation. Thank you. A little bit on CapFiX. CapFiX, we own CapFiX Commodity Platform. Just imagine we are the Uber of commodity trading, right? I think everybody know about Uber, right? You have the passengers and you have drivers, and the driver will bring you to the destination. It's just exactly what we do in CapFiX. We had a seller, we had a buyer on one side, and the seller, which is sugar seller, on the other side. Our job is to bridge the buyer and the seller, particularly in the sugar, grains, and edible oil segment. We don't do many commodities. We are very focused in CapFiX, right? These are the three main categories we're doing with sugar as our flagship product. Recently, we have four powerful upgrades. We have FinTrade, whereby we will assist our buyer to issue instruments, right, from the top 100 bank, especially from SPLC. And we have Trade Talk, where we have lines of speakers to be available for your conferences or seminars. And we also work with a commodity, this AI side, where we bring the AI players into the commodity world, where we will help the farmers and the producer with a much better and precise planning. And going forward, we'll have a CapFiX Capital, where we believe we will convert the commission income, which is ad hoc, into passive income, meaning we invest in asset and generate income. And with all this, we'll run mentorship program, right? Because when I look at this commodity world, probably since the COVID time, I noticed that this commodity world full of deficiencies, which we can capitalize, find a gap, and create our financial freedom if we do it properly. This is what I want to share with all of you. Some company, I mean, most of the company doesn't have a corporate flower, but we do. In CapFiX, our corporate flower is sunflower. And this is exactly what I like about the spirit of sunflower. We never say die, you know. We are very positive. Even the darkest night, we will still get on and move forward. This is exactly the spirit that we need in the commodity world. It's full of failures. So we need to hang on and fight to the end and get out from the dark side. Okay, as I mentioned, there are many commodities, soft and hard, right? For us, we feel that finding the right commodities is very important. Otherwise, you realize that you're putting a lot of effort but no result. One commodity that I like to recommend to you is sugar. Why sugar? Because every day we will receive inquiries. So it's very hot item to where buyer looking for. Just imagine we do one transaction of 12,500 vessel, metric tons. This is one vessel. If you got one deal, normally you can sign for 12 months. Example, if you just get $1 commission, you will take home US dollars $12,000 commission every month for the next 12 months. Sound attractive, but full of challenges in the process. But it is happening, it's possible. We just need to find a way to do it. And because of this finding that I found, that I think with the deficiency in the ecosystem, if we can master the technique and the planning, we can do it. Okay, what I'm going to share tonight is 4 things. How to find and secure the right supplier. Second, how to win their trust. Right? Number 3 is how to deal with gatekeepers. It's hard to get to the suitable supplier. So who are the gatekeepers? And how to protect your name if supplier fails. I hope this is your pains. Let's deal with them one by one. What is a long pain? Next slide, please.
Yes, it is on the harsh reality slide.
Okay, all right. Okay, when you see the title that I have, the sugar daddy, some of me ask, what do you mean by sugar daddy? Some even think the other side of the sugar daddy. But just imagine, seller is the father in a traditional family. You see, a lot of us complain, oh, it's so difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to talk to the seller, the suppliers. But once you have the mindset and you accept, the keyword is accept, the reality that sugar supplier is the father of a traditional family, you won't complain anymore. Straight away, you will understand how difficult it is. We still have to follow their procedures because of the father in the family. Right? Maybe nowadays, the new fathers are more accommodating. But sugar daddy in the supplier in the sugar world is the old father, father in the traditional family. We must like them, respect them, and even though we don't like the way they do things. So one wrong choice of supplier, one your choice, you kill your business. You cannot do anything. The price, the performance, the trust, and attitude, right? All this will kill you instantly. I ran a 3-day poll, casting votes in my LinkedIn page, and these are the results. I asked for what are the top 4 challenges when dealing with sugar supplier, and these are the result. Right? They are joint number 1. One is securing the right supplier, 41%, which I totally agree. Number 2, mandate blocking access. This is the gatekeeper. You cannot get to the supplier to talk to them. It just can't, right? We are not talking about bypassing. Just don't get me wrong. We have to participate in the discussion, but you always have no chance. And we need the seller support important because going forward, you need them to support, sometimes be a little bit more lenient on certain requirement, right? Or we can just fast forward certain things. And no one choose to protect the name if deals fail. Either no one, all of us here don't care our name, or we haven't get there. We haven't been able to get past the first hurdle to find the right supplier. Let's go into one by one. Okay, you see, during the process, right, I have many buyers claim to be very big company, large corporation, super big. I asked them for the supply. And then I asked them one question: why don't you just fly over to Brazil and look for yourself? Because they start challenging us. Okay, are your supplier trustworthy? Are they genuine? Have you done any business before? Have you yourself done any business with them before? Okay, it's okay. And then now I smile. I asked them, why don't you fly over to Brazil and find a supplier yourself? Normally, they keep quiet. But the more I want to engage them, because I also want interested to find out why. If you're such a big company, why don't you just fly over to Brazil and look for the supplier yourself? And these are the 4 very common answers. First of all, the time constraint, the cost, and the language barrier. Language indeed is a very practical problem. I had problem with the language. Nobody speak in Portuguese, right? It's very difficult to understand, even to the commercial sector, the Chamber of Commerce. And Brazil sugar industry is complex and regionally spread. Even though they're centered south, but it's such a big country. It's very difficult to travel and find the right uh, seller. It's not easy to meet the decision maker and owner, right? Yes, fine. You can Google for names of the suppliers, but can you get to the right owners and the decision makers? That's another story. And mills are flooded with unqualified leads. They ignore most of us. This is why we need to add value later to win their trust. Okay, what are the type of sugar suppliers now? Is it we're talking about finding supplier, but do we know what are the type of supplier that we're talking about? Okay, as far as I know, there are 5 types of suppliers. First is millers, where they convert the sugar cane into raw sugar. Second one is refineries. They're refining the sugars into Ecomza 45, those different grades. Sometimes millers are also refineries, right? So they're combined. And they're quota holders. Quota holders are mostly based in Brazil, where they have the allocation from various millers and refineries. Some are also based in overseas, right? So they have a quota, right? So they normally these people pre-book or pre-lock the allocation, the supply from the miller. This is why some of the buyer, right, more daring buyer, they fly over to Brazil but can't get anything because the millers, the refineries do not entertain ad hoc buyers. Their allocation have been booked or locked for by the long-time buyers, so you can't get anything. The other one is the shareholders. These are the people that claim that they have the shares in the millers or the refineries. Therefore, they enjoy the allocation. I use the word claim because you can never get them to show you their share certificate. Forget about it. They will share with you, but they say, no, I'm the shareholder in the factory, therefore I have the local location. I guess we just have to take their word, right? And the more common one is the trading companies. This is where most of us talking to, and this is where a lot of fraud, scammers are around, right? These are the people are more flexible. In general, they buy forward, have a whole year contract, therefore could give you a better price. And their price is almost mostly cheaper than what you can get from the millers or the refineries. They create a lot of questions, right? But there's a reason for that. If you look at the last line, the prices increase from 5 to 1, meaning if you go to the millers, in fact, you'll be surprised to see the prices are higher than you can get from the trading company. Why is it so? Because sometimes the miller you talk to is happen to be a standalone miller. They do not have the crowd. They do not have the volume to give you the economy of scale. But if you go to a trading company, they can buy forward. They can buy a whole year contract from different mills. When they combine, the prices are lower. So in our own platform, we do have prices where the millers higher than the trading companies. And commission-wise, if you all drawing commission, the millers and the refinery pay the lowest commission, and the trading company pays the highest. Right? These are trading company are more the commercial-driven people, so they entice you to fight for them. But the millers probably don't care attitude. Okay, you want to sell, doesn't matter. I already pre-sold my location, so I'm not worried. So the PU are small. Sometimes don't pay you at all, right? So they're super big. Okay, this is an overview for Brazilian sugar. In CapFiX, we specialize in Brazilian sugar. So I'm talking about Brazilian sourcing. This is according to Unica statistic. In Brazil, their total mills about 360. Export ready mills, there's only less than half, it's 120. And active refineries, there are only 80. GACC registered for China market is only 34. So there are actually not too many sellers in the market, especially from Brazil. We thought Brazil is such a big country, right? We want to find the sellers, the adventure type buyer want to fly over to Brazil. They can hardly find the right one because there's simply not too many population of the suppliers. And this actually my surprise is when we look at this number. Okay. Okay, so where to find supplier then? The best one, I think the most practical one is get referrer. Get someone that you've been working with, get them to refer you to a supplier. That's the best. I rely on your referrers because first of all, he's recommended by someone I didn't trust. I know. So the chances is getting the right supplier is higher. Linking, to the contrary, linking is one of the best way to look for supplier. Although there are a lot of scammers. In my week, this linking page, I noticed that when I put something, there are a lot of response offer to me. But after a while, the real one come out. The genuine intermediaries will come. That they offer me the right price. Normally, this appear after 90 days. They follow me for 90 days. They start to ask question and offer. I notice this is something that if you're in the linking page, right, you do it well, and the real partner will come after 90 days observing you, right? You can also go to exhibitions, conferences, or seminars. This is where you can actually name card and get them to recommend, or you can speak to the speakers or the people around there. You can also look at commodity platform such as CapFiX. For us, we have a combo or supplier. But I think if you can look at around, there are not many commodity platform doing what we do, right? So maybe you like to look around. And trade association, no chamber of commerce, of course, and embassies. Embassy sometimes is very slow. That's why I put into the very last. If you can wait, you wait. Okay, next. Okay, now go back to CapFiX Commodity Platform. Just one more thing about us. We are the Uber of commodity trading. So we have numbers of suppliers already in our platform, right? We recruit them based on the types, the pricing, and the payment method. Therefore, we can offer a combo to serve our different buyers. Most of them are trading company. Some of them are trading company plus a shareholder in Brazilian millers. And some of them are refineries, right? The price is very, very high and pay peanuts. But these are real refineries. If you want, we have. And we also work with top global millers. They don't pay you at all, no commission at all. So in this case, CapFiX will work as a sourcing representative for the buyers. So we'll get a commission from the buyer, not from the seller. Okay, so for all of you, this is an invitation to all of you. Now going forward, if you do have any suppliers with GACC, CBRA, and China Import Proven and DLC acceptance supplier, do contact us. We'll welcome you to work together and invite your supplier on our platform.
Just a quick time check. It is 9:20 now.
Okay, oh, time really flies. Okay, this is the way to choose to find the right supplier. 3 steps. Start from the verified channel. You reduce your risk. Ask the right question. You proceed professionally. Remember, whenever you work with a supplier, always remember, continue to stay vigilant because we do not know what they're doing at the back. We have to stay vigilant. Next. Okay, how to win their trust? Okay, very important. You must respect their procedures. They are the father in the family. You must respect your father, even though you may not like what they do. Right? You give them a validated buyer, then they'll respect you. See you seriously. Get the preferred payment method only from top 100 banks, and you must be fast document turnaround and follow through whatever you submitted your order. Yep. Okay, the gatekeepers I mentioned just now. This is always today also my headache. Sometimes I have a good supplier, but we have some issue raised by the buyer, but it's always in blocked by the mandate, right? And this is very costly, and it can even kill your business because the ego at play. So my advice to you is that if possible, you try to talk to your mandate, especially those are not cooperative, offer them commission, you still pay them. And just need them to stand aside, let you talk to the buyer, the supplier, but you will pay them. Okay, this is important, especially for CapFiX as a platform, right? If we had a supplier who cannot perform, they will damage our credibility. So we will need to protect ourselves, even yourself. If you're intermediary, this is very important because your name, your credibility is a currency. So we always wanted the buyer to do their due diligence on the seller before they sign the SPA. The onus to sign SPA has to be the buyer, not based on our words. You must always remember that. You want the buyer to do DD on them and sign. And you keep all the transaction, all the communication in your file, right? And then following up with sellers, face a buyer. If anything happen, you can run away. You must face the buyer anytime they wanted, no hiding. It's protect your credibility. Okay. Okay, this is the last one, I think. Okay, before we go into the answer your kind of question. I offer these two. People ask me, why do I offer mentorship? Two reasons. Number one, as I mentioned, I found deficiency in the ecosystem of the commodity world. And people like the bad connection between the supplier and the buyer is a big gap. So it created a very, very good opportunity for intermediaries or facilitator to create a possible good income for all of us if you do it right. So I want to share with you the plan, the strategy. So I do this sugar closing strategy plan. You walk away with your own plan in 2 sessions, 2 hour session, right? And the other one, some of you may like to have my own time, private time, one-to-one. I also run a very, very good promotion for you. All this only up to May 11, this Sunday. Yes. Next. Okay. Just before I close my session, my sharing shed, very be careful. There's full of scammers everywhere, right? So you need to know how to identify them, right? Some it's very difficult to know. They have beautiful website. They talk very nicely, polite. You just need to be careful, right? Next. Okay, so for those of you who would like to know more about us, please go to our website at catfixasia.com, right? In there, you can see all the things that we do, and please, you can also connect us with all our CatFiX global partners. We have 21 of them in 16 countries. They were there to assist you. Okay, I'll take some questions.
Yes, we have a few questions. So
Yep.
first one from Sadek. We face sometimes higher commission asked by buyers, site brokers, or mandates. What's the solution for that?
High commission from the buyers, right? Is it?
Yes, higher commission asked by the buyer's side, brokers, or mandates.
Yeah. Okay. Is it first of all we might understand what is we start with you can explain start from the standard. What is the standard commission rate in this industry? The standard rate in the industry is $5, $5 US dollar per metric tons. Usually divided half, $2.50 for the seller mandate side, $2.50 for the buyer mandate side. So only $2.50 each. So anybody give above will be difficult, right? But if you had a good relationship with the seller will be able to factor into the pricing and give you a little bit more commission. Like us, CatFiX, we explain to the seller that we are running a platform, so we need to incentivize our CatFiX global partners, and under them, they have their agents to work with them. So if only 250, you will not be motivating enough for them. Therefore, in CapFiX, we got a good support from our suppliers where they pay higher for commission. So when you have a inquiry for any order, write to us, we'll share the commission rate with you and let you understand the whole package.
We have
Any
another
more questions?
yeah, we have another question from Liao Frankson. So he
Yep.
said that the buyers in China seem to not be able to directly open an SBLC and require
Yes.
another intermediary, which is China
Yes.
company, to issue the SBLC. And so, yeah,
Okay.
how do you go about that?
Okay, in general, China bank do not encourage their buyer, the customer or their client to issue SPLC in general. Many people say that China cannot issue SPLC. It's wrong. It's not. They can. It's just that China bank do not encourage their client to issue SPLC because of the risk involved. SPLC is an instrument which is a preferred instrument, by the way, for sellers because they can easily transfer and can be easily monetized. This is the part that the China bank would not want their buyer, their client to happen. So normally what we advise is that if the China buyer, they had to buy from a supplier that insists that can accept this SPL, this DLC, we know ask them to try to source from their Hong Kong counterpart if they have source for Hong Kong part. So Hong Kong is still part of China, but Hong Kong is more flexible. In Hong Kong, their office can arrange SPLC from Hong Kong bank or the overseas bank. So try that. Otherwise, you have almost zero chance, I'm sorry to say that, to get a buyer in China to issue a SPLC from China bank.
Yep. We have another question from Vatsan. Many
Okay.
times a potential order goes up to the SPA step, but then it does not move further. So according to the rules by the ICC, the buyer becomes liable, but then as a supplier or their mandate, we don't want to spend time going behind litigations. So how do you
Yeah.
deal with this?
Okay. I need to share with you one harsh reality. No one care about your SPA, honestly. Some people argue that not when I got the ICPO more secure, forget about it. No one care. Somebody's going to SPA, they sign already, then what happened? Buyer, you must honor it. No one care. So don't waste time. No one care. No one care about the rules. In this, I just give you the real situation. Okay, so I mean, when it comes to that situation, it's tough luck, right? This is sometimes this is why the seller will judge you whether you are the partner that can turn around thing real happening for them, because there are too many intermediaries or facility out there come to SPA and disappear. Why they disappeared? Okay, I think some of the reasons are those people come to this stage, get your SPA to go to apply from some other facilities, right? Because it's a real SPA and the buyer seller sign. They use it to apply for other facilities, banking facilities. This is one of the reasons. And then you ask them why it takes so long, no? The process is so long, they get to this part, then it disappear. But this is what they do, right? So I mean, this is where some of the buyer are also because when they agree to use certain bank or certain instrument, but later on they are not able to issue the MT799. MT799 is a very important tool because when you go to SPA to the real transaction, the seller will want you to issue the MT799. Some buyer cannot issue that. This problem because to issue MT799, it is notification by the issuing bank to inform the receiving bank that the buyer is now ready to transact, right? And they have the financial capability to buy. But some buyer at that time, due to certain issue, they're not able to proceed. Therefore, you have SPA they cannot do. So can we go bypass and go to the talk to the buyer? I think during the process you will have some connection communicating with the buyer. I think you can actually write to them, but always inform your intermediaries, the buyer intermediary. You, the worst thing we do is that we go behind somebody else. This is not very nice. Get everyone involved, find a real reason, and then we move forward.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, RJ. We are actually short on time, so we will have to end the
Okay.
session here. But
All
don't
right.
worry, all the questions that you've submitted, RJ will be answering through his LinkedIn post either tonight or tomorrow. So you can look out for that on his profile. So thank you very much for joining this session, and we'll see you in the next one.